Break the Board Sports. It's your boy RJ Cash. Click that like, hit subscribe. NBA on the hardwood here today. Let's hop into the slate now. We got the Denver Nuggets laying 5.5 at the Washington Wizards tonight. Excuse me. 229.5 is our total in this one. 60% ticket count, 72% of the handle going over. 40% of the ticket count, 28% of the handle going to the under here in this one. Now, as far as your injury report goes, again, that pulled up for you guys. Aaron Gordon for the Denver Nuggets. He is probable to go tonight, so that's a good news. Jamal Murray, he's also probable to go. Now, Valanciunas, he's really been struggling with the calf. He is still questionable. If they could get him back, that would be great. Tim Hardaway Jr., another good role player piece. He's going to give it a go tonight, so that is good news as well. Now, when you look at the Wizards, Bagley questionable with the illness, and Chris Middleton, he's questionable as well with an illness. So it'll be interesting to see if those two guys go. On top of that, you got AJ Johnson. He's questionable with the illness. So everybody kind of beat up a little bit here from a six standpoint from the Wizards, or they're just tired of losing because the Wizards absolutely suck. Now, the Denver Nuggets at 5.5, they're getting 76% of ticket count, 69% of the handle, 24% of ticket count, 31% of the handle going to the Washington Wizards. Denver 6-3 straight up their last 9. They're 1-4 though ATS their last 5 versus the Wizards, despite being 7-2 straight up the last 9 meetings overall with Washington. Washington has lost 7 straight games, and the over between these two teams has cashed 8 of the last 12 meetings. When I look at this, I don't want to get involved here in the 5.5 with the Nuggets, but I may look to parlay the Nuggets in a 2-team parlay somewhere, minus 215 there. Again, it's really hard to bet the Wizards. They're just so dreadful here as I live close by. Can't stand how they run that franchise. But for me, it would be Nuggets on the money line or parlaying them with somebody to get them across the finish line. Now, the Charlotte Hornets, they lost their game 94-87 yesterday to the Cavs. They were 2.5-point dogs and lost. Orlando coming back from their trip overseas where they had the doubleheader with the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the Orlando Magic are laying 6.5 in this one. 227.5 is your total. The total is split evenly 50-50, but the Magic are getting 55% tickets, 60% of the handle, laying the 6.5. 45% ticket count, 40% of the handle is taking the 6.5. Now, listen, Brandon Miller, since coming back, he's been on a tear. When you got Miller, Ball, and Bridges together, you would think this team would be lights out. Now, Suggs, he's the only questionable guy for the Orlando Magic tonight. Again, Hornets coming off the back-to-back, but listen, Charlotte to Orlando isn't like the worst travel in the world. Hornets 11-5 ATS over their last 16, but the Magic have beaten the Hornets 5 of the last 6 and have covered 5 of the last 6 as well. So they've really owned Charlotte. Orlando, though, just 5-12 ATS their last 17. Again, when they're at home playing the Hornets, they are 4-1 against the spread. Now, the Hornets come into this 16-28 overall. Again, we're looking for them to get to 30 wins to cash our ticket there. They're 9-15 straight up on the road. Magic 23-19, 13-6 at home. They've played twice already this year. In Orlando, the Magic won 123-107. In Charlotte, rather. And then in Orlando, back December 26th, not even a month ago, the Hornets went into Orlando and won 120-105. Not going to get to the window again. I don't get to the window on a lot of pre-flop on the NBA. Very good for live betting, halftime betting. But I will say this, I would lean Hornets or nothing here would be my play in this game. Houston Rockets laying 2.5 on the road at the Philadelphia 76ers. 221.5 is the total. 80% of ticket count to the over 221.5. 20% of the ticket count to the under 221.5. Now, 83% of the money going over, 17% of the money going under. When you look at the side in this, the Rockets are getting 66% of the ticket count, 61% of the handle. 76ers, 34% ticket count, 39% of the handle. Now, Aaron Holiday, he is questionable with back spasms, whether he goes. Adams is out tonight. Now, here's the big one, and it's every night, I feel like, with these two guys. Joel Embiid, he's probable to go tonight. That's big for the Philadelphia 76ers. George is questionable. He's on load management for the knee. I would want to see how this game unfolds. Like if one of these teams gets up double digits, I think you can get a good number on the other side for this one. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Listen, if I was going to do anything pre-flop, I would take the Rockets minus 130 on the money line. But for me, I have nothing in pocket. Golden State Warriors, this team is just, man, to have a dynasty fall, and they did the thing. Bill Belichick got a lot of criticism in football, getting rid of guys too early. The Warriors have held on to guys too late. Like they let Klay Thompson go. But even Draymond, you should always keep Curry. I'm not saying that. But like they have just struggled to put this thing together. Jimmy Butler tears the ACL. Kuminga and Kerr got the rift. They just have not been able to get things going. So now you got Butler out for the year. You got Gary Payton. He's questionable tonight. Now for the Mavs, Anthony Davis, obviously he's out with the finger. Gafford, he's questionable with the ankle. So the Mavs have lost Davis. They've lost Lively. They've lost Kyrie. But they got a slew of other guys. Right now, Golden State laying 5.5 on the road. 235.5 is the total. 55% ticket count, 79% of the handle going to that over 235.5. 45% ticket count, 21% of the handle going to the under. When you look at the sides, about 60-40 on the tickets in favor of the Mavs, and the money 50-50. Look, diving in a little bit more into this, Golden State 4-1, both straight up in ATS over their last 5. But the Dallas Mavericks have covered 8 of the last 12 versus the Warriors, and the Mavs are 4-1 straight up their last 5 and 4-1 ATS. At home, the Mavs have been very good, 9-2 ATS their last 11. I will get to the window on the Dallas Mavericks plus 5.5 tonight. I'll have that in pocket. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they host the Chicago Bulls. Giddey still a game time decision. Collins is out tonight. Obviously, Anthony Edwards back in action. T-Wolves laying 9.5. Now, the tickets and the money are about 50-50 on this one. Minnesota just 2-4, both straight up in ATS their last 6. The Bulls, totally opposite. 4-2, both straight up in ATS their last 6. The over has been the way to go. 9 of the last 11 head-to-head matchups have went over the total. 5 of the Timberwolves' last 7 have went over the total, and 4 of the Bulls' last 5 have went over the total. When you look at the total for this game, 239.5. Ticket count spread pretty much evenly in this one. Nothing to like kind of, throw you off in this thing as far as the ticket count on that. Listen, I can't lay 9.5. You guys know me. I'm not going to do that. T-Wolves are 15-6 straight up at home, as where the Bulls 7-13. They played once this year in Chicago. Minnesota won that game by 35. If you're looking, remember we were talking about the Denver Nuggets trying to find a dance partner. If you went Nuggets T-Wolves money line parlay minus $1.20, I think that's a good way to look there. Utah Jazz laying 13 on the road. San Antonio Spurs rather laying 13 on the road at the Utah Jazz. 236.5 is your total. Now ticket count on the total 50-50. As far as the money, 73% going over, 27% going under. Now the ticket count and money around 50%, pretty much even here between the Jazz and the Spurs. When you look at your injury report for tonight, Vasil's out. Cornette, he's game time decision with the groin. Now George for the Jazz, he's got that forearm. He's listed as questionable. McCannon's out. Niang out. And then Sensabaugh, he's gotten sick. So kind of interesting to see how that ends up going here. San Antonio 1-4 ATS their last 5, but they've beaten the Jazz 5 of the last 7 matchup. Jazz just 1-4 straight up their last 5, but they are 6-3 ATS. The Jazz always good for a cover. I would want to see how this game plays out. Utah may be a way to lean here in this one. Plus 13, short lean. Don't know if I'll get to the window. The only thing right now, if I for sure will get to the window, I'm going to figure out some type of way to get the Nuggets involved in the money line, use their money line. And I'm also going to get involved with Dallas plus 5.5. Last game on the board for the night, the Battle of LA. Clippers hosting the Lakers. Clippers laying 1.5, 223.5 is the total. Now listen, 77% of bets, 67% of the handle going over, 23% of bets, 33% of the handle on the under. Before we get to the side, please click that like, hit subscribe, check out all of our content. 6 pieces of betting content coming out today. BreakTheBoardSports.com, promo code NFL50, all caps, get you 50% off for the rest of this month. If you sign up before the end of the month, you get 30 days for half off. 65% of bets, 72% of the handle here is on the Lakers. 35% of ticket count, 28% of the handle going to the Clippers. Now, your injury report, obviously, Bogdanovich out and Jones are out for the Clippers. Questionable is Kawhi Leonard. This is going to be a big one, whether he goes or not. I really feel like the Clippers need Kawhi to have a shot in this game. Now, the Clips have been playing really good ball. They're 6-1 their last 7, but listen to these 2 ATS numbers. At home, the Clippers 8-1 against the spread their last 9, and 12-4 ATS their last 16 overall. The Lakers have dominated little brother Clippers, though. 4-1 straight up, 4-1 ATS. But the Lakers, as of late, just 2-6 ATS on the road. We've talked about them defensively, how much the Lakers have struggled. We talked about the Lakers winning 4 of the last 5, both straight up and covering. But the last time out, December 20th, they've split the 2 meetings this year. The last time out stopped that 4-game slide the Clippers had against the Lakers. Clippers won 103-88 at home. So, again, if Kawhi goes, I'm on the Clippers. If he doesn't go, I'll just take a pause. Now, listen, this is your best game on the board for the night as far as in-game betting. So if there's going to be any game you're tracking on your phone while you're working, hanging out with kids, track this one. If one of these teams gets up 13, 14 points, you're going to get a nice line on the other side. Remember, NBA, everybody makes a run. RJ Cash, Break the Board Sports. Click that like, hit subscribe, giving you stats, trends, information to help you with your handicap. Whether you fade or follow, hope you guys win your bets. God bless and happy handicap.